Manchester United drop bombshell, Ruben Amorim sacked just weeks before Europa League Final. In an absolutely stunning twist that has sent shockwaves throughout the footballing world, Manchester United have officially sacked manager Rúben Amorim, just weeks before their all-important UEFA Europa League Final against Tottenham Hotspur in Bilbao. The decision, widely regarded as one of the most unexpected managerial changes in recent European football history, has left fans, pundits, and players in utter disbelief. The timing of the sacking is particularly jaw-dropping. United are just days away from contesting their first European final since 2021, a high-stakes clash with Premier League rivals Spurs at the iconic San Mamés Stadium in Bilbao. The final represents the Red Devils' last chance at silverware this season and potentially their only route back into the UEFA Champions League. Now, they will be entering that match without the manager who guided them through the competition. Ruben Amorim was appointed Manchester United manager last summer after a protracted and highly publicized search. The Portuguese tactician arrived with an impressive resume, having transformed Sporting CP into a dominant force in Portuguese football. He was seen as a bold, modern, and tactically savvy choice, someone who could finally usher United into a new era of consistency and success. Amorim's reign, while turbulent at times, had its bright spots. Under his guidance, United adopted a more structured and pressing-oriented style of play. The club reached the final of the Europa League with thrilling wins over Real Betis, Bayer Leverkusen, and a dramatic semi-final victory over Atlanta that showcased Amorim's tactical acumen and emotional leadership. Behind closed doors, tensions at Carrington. Reports emerging in the wake of Amorim's dismissal suggest that tensions had been simmering at Carrington for several weeks. Senior club sources point to a series of disputes between Amorim and key members of the club's hierarchy, particularly regarding transfer strategies, training intensity, and team selection. One source close to the club said, the board and Amorim had very different visions. He wanted more autonomy, especially around transfers and squad management. There were growing concerns that his approach was alienating senior players and causing unnecessary rifts. It is understood that a heated exchange occurred between Amorim and Director of Football John Murtough just last week, following a leaked team sheet that suggested the Portuguese boss was planning to bench Bruno Fernandes for the final, a move that allegedly enraged multiple board members and influential figures within the squad. The mood in the dressing room following the announcement was reportedly one of stunned silence. Amorim had built strong relationships with several of United's rising stars, including Alejandro Garnacho, Kobbie Mainoo, and Rasmus Højlund, players who flourished under his intense tactical sessions and emphasis on fluid, attacking football are said to be reeling from the news. However, not everyone was in Amorim's corner. A faction of senior players reportedly struggled with his rigid tactical systems and his unwillingness to rotate the squad during congested fixtures. One unnamed veteran was quoted as saying, "We never really knew where we stood." The style was exciting, but at times the dressing room felt fractured. In a swift move, the club has announced that Steve McClaren, a key part of the coaching staff and former England manager, will step in as interim manager for the remainder of the season. McClaren, who has extensive experience with United including a stint as Sir Alex Ferguson's assistant, will now shoulder the immense pressure of leading the Red Devils into the Europa League final under dramatically changed circumstances. The appointment has sparked mixed reactions. While McClaren is respected for his tactical nous and calming presence, questions remain about whether he can galvanize the squad and maintain the tactical structure that brought United this far. Meanwhile, speculation is already swirling around potential permanent replacements. Names like Thomas Tuchel, Roberto De Zerbi, and even a sensational return for Erik ten Hag have been floated. But club sources insist no long-term decision will be made until after the final. as if Tottenham Hotspur needed any more motivation heading into their first European final in over half a century. United's managerial turmoil now offers a significant psychological edge to the North London side. Spurs manager Ange Postecoglou has already stated that his team will stay focused and humble, but privately, he must be relishing the opportunity to exploit United's sudden instability. "Anything can happen in a final," said Postecoglou in a press conference this morning. "But we're preparing for a tough match. Manchester United are still a world-class team, regardless of who's in the dugout. Manchester United's decision will be dissected endlessly in the days and weeks to come." Was this a bold, necessary move to reassert control over a squad slipping away from its manager, or a catastrophic misstep that could derail their season at the worst possible moment? Only time will tell. But what is certain is that United have rolled the dice in spectacular fashion, and the eyes of the world will be watching when they walk out in Bilbao without Ruben Amorim on the touchline.